this point in the course, we've been talking about how images are designed, organized, and interpreted. In this module, we shift a little bit. Instead of asking how images are made, we're going to ask how images are changed. Image manipulation is not a new practice. Long before digital tools existed, photographers altered images in the darkroom. Editors cropped photographs to control meaning, showing you what they did or did not want you to see within them, and designers would adjust contrast, remove details, or emphasize certain elements to guide your attention. Manipulation has always been part of visual communication. What has changed is accessibility and scale. Today, image manipulation tools are widely available, fast, and increasingly automated. In many cases, it's no longer obvious when an image has been altered, how it's been altered, or by whom. This matters because we tend to treat images as evidence. We often assume photographs show us what really happened. But images do not simply record reality, they interpret it. Every image reflects a sense of decision, whether those decisions were made by a human editor, by software defaults, or by an algorithm trained on large collections of existing images. One of the key ideas to keep in mind throughout this module is that manipulation exists on a spectrum. Cropping an image is manipulation. Adjusting brightness or contrast is manipulation. Correcting color balance is manipulation. Removing a background is manipulation. None of these actions are inherently unethical or trying to distort what the meaning of an image is or trying to betray the reality of what that image is trying to portray. What matters, though, is the context and intent and how the image is then presented to an audience. Image manipulation also plays a role in shaping identity, expectation, and credibility. In advertising and social media, retouching can influence how bodies appear, how environments feel, and what is perceived as normal or desirable. In journalism and documentary, every small change can subtly shift meaning or trust. Understanding these effects helps you become a more critical viewer and a more responsible creator. In this module, we are also going to introduce artificial intelligence, AI, as a tool for image description and generation. AI systems are very good at recognizing patterns, but they do not perceive images in the same way that humans do. They do not understand intention, they do not understand context, or the implications of any image in the same way that we would as humans. They produce outputs based off of probability rather than experience. It is important to be clear that while this module encourages to work with AI tools in order to better understand how they interpret images, they are not meant to override your own ethical or critical position. If you have a strong objection to using AI generation tools, there are alternative options described in the assignment that allows you to complete the same analytical work without generating new images. The learning goal here is critical understanding and comparison, not mandatory adoption of any specific technology. The assignment for this module is designed to make differences in interpretation visible. You'll begin by carefully describing an image that you believe has been manipulated. This is an exercise in close looking and precision observation. Then you will compare your description with an AI-generated description of the same image and examine how each description translates into new visual results. The goal is not to determine who is right or wrong. The goal is to notice when interpretations align, where they diverge, and what that reveals about how meaning is constructed. In many cases, you will find that an image generated from an AI description looks convincing but misses something essential, or that your own description emphasizes details that an AI model might overlook. As you work through the tutorials and readings this week, try to slow down your looking. Pay attention to what draws your eye, and what feels natural, what feels staged, or what feels artificial. Ask yourself what assumptions you're making when you look at an image and where those assumptions are coming from. If you find yourself surprised by the results of the assignment, that's a good sign. The module is meant to make that visible, something that might otherwise have been invisible to you beforehand. And it's here to encourage curiosity rather than to establish real certainty. If you have questions as you work, please bring them over to the module's Pumbl channel. You are also encouraged to share interesting or unexpected outcomes with your peers. Put those in there as well. Seeing how differently the image can be interpreted is a central part of the exercise. Take your time with the module, experiment thoughtfully, and try to enjoy the process. In the next video, we're going to begin by looking at how images are built at a structural level, starting with pixels and vectors.